So, what are some tricks that we can use? One is shrink your portions. So if I normally have this much steak, I'm now only going to have this much steak. It's kind of an easy thing to do right at the beginning. Maybe a baked potato, they used to be this big. Now I'm only going to have a baked potato that's this big. And just starting that shrinking process. We know using a small plate works. And why? Because if you have a small plate that's heaping with food, you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to be full. It's going to be great. If I have a big plate with a little bit of food, I'm not thinking that's going to satisfy me, right? Because this plays a huge role in what we do. So yes, choosing a smaller plate is helpful. Your fist is actually about 3/4 to a cup. So if I'm looking at how much I'm getting, I need 4 ounces of meat, right? Or poultry, 4 ounces this way and this way. So it's kind of a handy tool. And again, the more vegetables, the better. If I can think about how do I introduce vegetables at breakfast? How would you introduce vegetables at breakfast? You can have V8 juice, right? A vegetable juice product. Low sodium, please, because there's a lot of sodium in there. You can have your eggs and you can throw in vegetables, right? Or make an omelet. Throw in vegetables. And maybe at lunch, when I'm doing a turkey sandwich, and I'm doing it on the sandwich thins that are only about 100 calories, whole grain, maybe I'll put a handful of spinach and a handful of grated carrots and a slice of tomato on there. And now all of a sudden my sandwich is this big. Am I going to be full? Yeah, I'm going to be full. And then at dinner, if you can always start with a veggie-packed salad, because even if you don't like broccoli, if you chop up raw broccoli and stick it in a salad, it's not going to be bad. It's not going to taste the same as cooked broccoli, and you'll be able to get as much as you can. Then by the time I'm sitting down with my regular meal, which half of my plate should be vegetables, wow, I'm going to not need as much. Again, when you keep track of what you eat, you are more likely to be very cognizant of what you're eating. So being mindful of what we put in our mouth is really what we want, because that will help us keep the weight off. We want to make trade-offs. If this isn't my favorite thing ever, I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to waste my calories on something that's just okay. I'd rather save my calories and put it out for something that I really, really like, right? And again, things that are high in fat and sugar are going to add more calories to whatever it is that we're eating. But making trade-offs is really one of the most mindful things that you can do when you're on a healthy weight loss. Just think about before you eat it. Do I really want to spend my calories this way? And if you do, great. And if you don't bother. You have to add more physical activity and exercise in your day. You have to. Our body needs to burn. Our body is really kind of one big muscle. And you know what happens to muscles if you don't use them? They kind of go away. Your heart's the biggest muscle in your body. So it really needs that exercise to be healthy. Foods that are lower in calories. So let's take cheese. Let's take a low-fat cheese, a regular cheese, a low-fat cheese, and a no-fat cheese. I will tell you right now, there is no taste in no-fat cheese. You'll be using a lot of calories for not a lot of satisfaction. Low-fat? Sure. Or I'm eating regular cheese, but I'm not going to eat as much as I normally do, right? I'll eat a smaller amount. Anything with vegetables. Anything with vegetables. Making soups, right? Packing them with vegetables. That veggie-packed salad. Chop up every vegetable in the world and throw it in there. Because the research shows that people feel less hungry when they're eating a certain volume of food. So again, the small plate that's overloaded versus the big plate that has a lot of space in there could be the very same amount of food, but psychologically, yeah, it's not going to seem like that.